okay. I always say okay at the start of the videos. I'm going to try and break myself of the habit in the coming ones. What is a vector? Well, a vector is really just any quantity that needs a direction to fully specify what is happening. So there are a number of quantities which are best represented as vectors. So example, velocity. Velocity is a great one. Speed doesn't care about which direction you're traveling in. Your speedometer on your car simply tells you your speed. It doesn't tell you anything about your direction. If you want to give useful information to somebody, it's not useful to say, just go get on a street and travel at 30 miles per hour for an hour. They could end up anywhere. They won't necessarily be going the same direction on the same streets as you would. You have to specify something like, oh yeah, you get on the street going east and you go 30 miles per hour for an hour, and you'll get to where you want to go. So velocity, to really specify, you need to have a direction and a how quickly you want to travel. Position is another example. Acceleration, force, we'll get to towards the end, momentum, angular momentum, torque. All of those quantities are going to be vector quantities. Now, not everything has to have a direction specified. There are actually quite a number of things which are not vector quantities. And as an example, area is not normally thought of as a vector quantity, although we can actually think of it that way. Volume's a bit more certain. It's definitely not a vector quantity. Time, speed, although its close relative velocity is a vector. Distance, although its close relative position is a vector. Let me see. I think that's a good enough list. There are actually a bunch more. Let me list the last one that's the most important. Energy is what we call a scalar quantity. So scalars have a size but not a direction. Moreover, scalars scale and nothing but. Vectors can change their direction. Scalars do not have a direction. Okay. So whenever we have a quantity like velocity, position, acceleration, force, momentum, and so on, we would want to specify these a magnitude and a direction. Without both pieces of information, you have not fully specified a vector quantity. Scalars are just a magnitude. Okay. So initially in this class, you'll see that vectors are mostly listed as a magnitude and a direction. But they're kind of a pain to use in that form. First, I'm going to show you how you would split them into components, and then when we start talking about adding and subtracting vectors, I will talk about why we want to do them in component form instead of magnitude and direction form, at least most of the time. It does turn out that it's a lot easier to work with them in component form. Okay. Too many okays. Need to stop saying okay.